Are you dreaming of moving to Martinsburg, West Virginia? Hold on, because we're about to share 5 reasons why you might want to think twice.
And trust us, these are things you won't find in the brochures.
When people hear about Martinsburg, they imagine a quaint, growing town, but
there's more to the story. Let's dive into what you need to know, both the good and the not so good. First up, this is an area in the midst of many transitions. Martinsburg has many options for school, but zoning can be tricky. Did you know that you might not get to attend the school that you're zoned for?
Exactly. With all the new housing developments and population growth, the school system is constantly adapting to keep up. That means zoning boundaries can shift unexpectedly, or you may just be assigned to a different school on a case-by-case basis.
But here's the thing. We have additional data about school research and how to get insider tips to help you navigate this.
As a side note, clients often ask us to recommend good schools, but keep in mind we're not allowed to steer you in this. Any realtor who reassures you about how good the schools are in a certain location is crossing an ethical boundary. And they're also making a claim that they can't back up.
True. If you're interested in exploring private school options, there are several nearby. West Virginia has a unique program called the Hope Scholarship, which provides up to $4,000 to cover the cost of private school attendance.
If schools are your top priority, reach out and we'll share all our research tools and links. Let's talk about the DC Commute. Many viewers reach out to us asking if a commute to DC from Martinsburg is possible. The price tags on these homes are just too irresistible.
Well, it's possible, but imagine spending hours on the train or in traffic every day. You have to question whether the price of the commute is really worth the price of the home.
Yes, the distance is roughly 80 miles, depending on which route you take. While GPS might say it's 1 hour and 40-minute drive, with traffic, it could be closer to 2.5 or even 3 hours on days when there's a bad accident.
That's one way.
Yeah, that's one way.
Also keep in mind, some of the roads you're driving involve tolls upwards of $15 or more for a round trip. So factor that into your expenses as well, depending on how many days a week you're commuting.
For some, the MARC train makes commuting manageable. Great if you can work on the go, or you only need to go into the city a few times a week or a month.
But there's a catch. The train schedule and stops are a bit limited, so you'll want to check in advance to make sure you can get where you need to go at the time you need to be there.
A commute from Jefferson County might be more manageable, but on all the routes to DC, there are bottlenecks of traffic, especially Route 9 in Virginia, which is a 2-lane road. You really need to strongly consider the commute time and the home price trade-off.
And if proximity to DC is a must, places like Winchester, Virginia, or Frederick, Maryland might be a better option for a smoother commuting experience.
Speaking of commuting, let's talk about getting around the Martinsburg area. If you want to know what your options are for public transportation, you can check out the Eastern Panhandle Transportation Authority.
The area is much easier to navigate with access to a car, but there are some options if you're close to the bus stops. Further, there is a program called Demand Response in select areas of the county that can be booked in advance from Monday to Friday.
If you don't drive, life here can get inconvenient pretty fast. Walkability is limited to a few areas, and we all know that public transit isn't always reliable.
That said, for drivers, Martinsburg traffic is relatively mild compared to larger towns.
Before we move on, if you're finding this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We're sharing real insights about West Virginia towns on a monthly basis.
Comment below if you have an area you'd like us to cover next, or any feedback about Martinsburg to share with our viewers.
Next up, winters. Martinsburg can get snowy and cold, and the season often feels longer than you'd like.
But that's not all the bad news. If you enjoy snow days or outdoor winter activities, Martinsburg puts you close to great spots like Whitetail Resort and Harper's Ferry Snow Tubing, where they have light shows and disco nights sometimes.
Fun times. Still, if you're someone who craves sunshine year-round, you may be better suited to head to the southeast. North and South Carolina are fantastic options.
And we know some great realtors there.
We sure do.
Finally, healthcare. Martinsburg has some basic medical services and a regional hospital. But if you need specialized care, you'll probably have to drive to bigger cities like Hagerstown, Baltimore, DC, or Winchester.
It's a trade-off. Martinsburg's smaller hospitals mean shorter wait times for basic care, but you lose access to some specialties.
If healthcare is top priority, Frederick, Maryland might suit you better. It has more medical facilities and specialists without the hustle of a major city.
Now let's not forget the good stuff about Martinsburg. You've got affordable housing compared to DC and Baltimore, a growing community, and lots of potential for growth. growth.
It's an area on the rise with businesses coming in frequently, offering new job opportunities. If you want to know about some of our favorite spots, then be sure to watch next our Martinsburg walking tour where we take you around town and
we try some of the restaurants. Yep. Plus, if you like outdoor activities, Martinsburg puts you close to hiking, rivers, and historic landmarks.
But as we've shown you, it's not perfect. Rapid growth, long commutes, and limited infrastructure can be deal breakers for some.
It really comes down to your priorities and lifestyle.
So is Martinsburg the right fit for you? It has charm and potential, but it's not for everyone.
Luckily, there are plenty of nearby towns to explore if you need something a little different. Whether it's Shepherdstown historic vibe, Frederick's commuter options, or Winchester's established infrastructure, we're here to help you find the perfect spot.
And up next, don't miss our next video that we mentioned before where we take you to some of our favorite places in Martinsburg. See you next time.
Bye.